Welcome to the Prosperity Podcast for entrepreneurs who are ready to drop the hustle and earn more. I'm your host, Danielle Amos, business and success coach, certified Proctor Gallagher Institute consultant, and lifestyle entrepreneur. Each week, I'll bring you amazing entrepreneurs who have built wealth, harnessing the power of their mind. Prosperity and money are truly about energy, and I'm on a mission to help you create financial abundance through the power of thought. It's time we started normalizing conversations about money and create the wealth that is yours. Are you ready? Let's do this. Welcome to episode 220 of the Prosperity Practice. This is Danielle Amos, and you are listening to the podcast that has you living your most abundant life. Today, we have a throwback app for you, an episode where I talk about comfort zones and, well, the definition of a comfort zone is everything inside that circle is comfortable. Of course. And anything outside, not comfortable. And it's so important to get outside of what's comfortable. And I know it can feel like a stretch, but that comfort zone represents your paradigm. It represents your habitual ways. And so many people complain that their life is still the same, but yet I see them inside the comfort zone. I'm like, of course you're getting more of the same because I don't see any stretch. And I think this has to do with our society seeing saying that oh, well, if you don't feel good, it's bad. Well, you don't feel good because of the perception of what's going on or what you're experiencing in your life. But what if it's growth? And what if that growth is exactly what you asked for because of the desire? Lean into it and don't wish that the thing would go away or the circumstance would go away, but wish that you are better, meaning that better is a good word, like that you grow, that you grow through this challenge, because it's actually through the challenge that you see what you're made of. That's when your talents and abilities get developed. And without that challenge, you may not have grown in that way. So, and it's not to wait for a challenge in your life. It's like you create it. You jump before you're ready. Go out and on purpose, put yourself in situations where you're not comfortable. This is Quantum Leap Energy. More of this in the club in May for Momentum May. So if you're not already part of the Success Club, join us because we've been cleaning up our shit in April, getting real, clearing the clutter, and feeling the serenity on the other side of it and making space for the Quantum Leap Energy. So enjoy this episode. Thank you for being here. I love you and expect abundance. Today, we're talking about comfort zones. Let's define what a comfort zone is. A comfort zone is where we are operating, where we're comfortable. So usually this is our habitual way of being. Sometimes we operate in a way that maybe we don't prefer, and it gets results that we don't want, but it's still in our comfort zone. So we may not like the results we're getting, and we don't change because we're comfortable in it. Does that resonate? It's kind of a messed up thing because we're like, well, I don't like the results that this action's getting for me, and I do it anyway because I'm comfortable here, and it's more uncomfortable to change. So let's define what a comfort zone is then. Okay, so it's all the things that you're doing right now that is inside that circle that we say is a comfort zone, and anything outside that circle, your habitual way of being, is by definition outside of the comfort zone and therefore uncomfortable. And growth happens outside your comfort zone. So therefore, by definition, growth is uncomfortable. And if you draw a big circle around your habitual way of operating right now, that's the comfort zone. And even one step outside of that circle, by definition, it's uncomfortable. And the only way to experience growth is by getting uncomfortable. And the way to achieve your goal is through growth. Let me say that again. The purpose, the entire purpose of a goal, and that's why the goal's got to be big enough to cause growth. So then the whole purpose of your goal is growth, and how you grow is outside your comfort zone. So I hear from a lot of our clients and members in our community that they're going through something right now, and it's really uncomfortable. And my response is good, because that shows that you're growing. So what if it's not that we wish that we were more comfortable, and instead we change our perspective or point of view of what it looks like to be outside of the comfort zone. So instead of thinking that being uncomfortable is a bad thing, what if we just change the way that we perceive being uncomfortable? So now when we're outside of our comfort zone and we're uncomfortable, we understand that this isn't a bad thing. It's actually necessary for growth. And if it's necessary for growth, then wouldn't we welcome? Wouldn't we want to be uncomfortable? Wouldn't we welcome the obstacles or challenges or what we attract into our life? Because that means growth is happening. And if growth is happening, that means we'll achieve the goal faster. So it's a good thing. Now, how do we get around this? Because I personally have been growing quite a bit, over the last few months. Things that I've been up against have been really interesting, and I'm using my words wisely. And I am right in this work with you. I'm growing. Perhaps I'm a few steps ahead of you, and that's what a great mentor is, someone that has gone through things that can share their experience and save you time and money and resources by mentoring you. So I've been expanding and learning so much about what it means to have multiple corporations and money and taxes and lawyers and all this fun stuff. And I've been uncomfortable and faced with this a new understanding that there are things that I don't know. And through the learning of it and bringing to my team people who know, there's been issues and conversations that I haven't been comfortable in to start. And then I've had to become comfortable. The only way is to move through it and learn. And so for a period of time, yes, I'm uncomfortable, and I've been changing the perception is that this is where my growth is right now. And the growth is good. The growth is welcome. And I'm it's not an easy perspective to have. It's quite simple, and it's not an easy perspective to have. And so I'm reminding myself daily that the growth is what I'm seeking. And if I can hold the vibration and hold the perception that nothing is wrong here, this is just growth. And when I'm in that kind of, I call the XY vibration, it's not sure. It's almost like an anxious feeling. In that moment, if I can just understand that the anxious feeling is actually excitement because the growth is happening and that there's nothing wrong. And then as I learn, and as long as I hold this perception that the growth is good, and I lean in and I get the support that I need, and I know that I'm fully supported, and I'm reminding myself of the laws, Abundance is everywhere. Everything that I need will come exactly when I need it. You know, the timing is perfect. All of those things that I know are true about the universe, unlimited supply, then I can move through it with grace and then come on the other side with the growth, which is what I'm seeking. And it's what you're seeking as well, because fundamentally there's another law in this universe, and it is that we create or disintegrate. You are either growing or you're going backwards. There is no such thing as staying the same. And this is huge. So either you're growing, you're creating, or you're dying. And if you look out in nature, you'll see that the tree naturally is growing. Like no one has to go by and whisper to the tree, okay, it's springtime, grow new leaves. It naturally wants to grow. Same thing with people. You know, the runner wants to run faster. The salesperson naturally wants to sell more. It's interesting. And in order to run faster, sell more, we've got to grow. We've got to grow in areas where we may have been stagnant or become more effective at running or selling. So the growth is good. And if you are in your comfort zone, know that there's no growth happening there. You're comfortable. So my question to you today is, what can you do to get outside of your comfort zone today? What conversation could you have? What could you put yourself in a scenario that pushes the limit for you with this understanding that you're inviting growth? And you know that it will be uncomfortable, and that's exactly what you're looking for. Now, it doesn't mean that it's got to be difficult or awful. That's just your perception of getting outside of your comfort zone. What if you changed it that this is exciting and that this means I'm getting closer and closer and closer and closer to my goal? In order to keep that perception, for me, I do writing. I write so that I understand this perception that I'm taking. And it's like I calm myself down through the journaling, because as I'm writing, that writing causes my thinking. And then I can think the thoughts I want to think, because then the writing's controlling the thinking, right? And then that thinking can lead to the feeling that I want, which is confidence, ease, calmness, joy. And if I just let my mind run wild without the writing, I notice I easily fall back into lack and problems and what's not working. So for me, the writing is how I discipline my mind to focus on what I want to focus on, rather than just the default, which is usually lack and limitation for most of us. So get outside your comfort zone today. Lean into the area of your life maybe that you're resisting, and show up and know that on the other side is the growth you're actually seeking. And with that growth, you're one step closer to manifesting your goal. All right. So I want to hear from you. How did that feel? Oh, this is such a good and important lesson. So tag me. Send me a note. And if you loved it, give us a 5-star review on our podcast and share it with others. Thank you for being here. See you inside the Success Club and the Success Society. We love you.